G'day and welcome back to another World of Warcraft video. In this video I wanted to talk a little bit about why I play on an RP server, and basically, if anyone's interested, why they should consider playing on an RP server. Now, just to cover the basics, you are going to need an add-on. I use Total RP 3, but there are plenty of good RP add-ons that you can get, so please try whichever one suits you best. But you are going to need one because it does help you out a lot. Firstly, being able to see other people's character profiles and create your own allows you to kind of give yourself a bit of flair. But also the main thing is it allows you to identify with not only other casual RP players but also RP guilds. So it's definitely something that's needed. You can get as extensive as you want it to. You can add profiles for your pets. You can add quest logs. Depending on how deep you want to take it, you can take it pretty deep. So definitely look into it depending on what kind of style of RP you want and kind of get used to it from there. Now, obviously, outside of just the add-ons and things like that, like what is RP? So RP is obviously role-playing. Now, WoW is an MMORPG, but role-playing specifically means the idea of, much like D&D, creating your own quest lines within the world and architecture of World of Warcraft. So maybe you enter a raid that you're all too powerful for, but you lower your gear or reduce your characters in some way and play out some kind of fantasy epic that you've designed in your minds, much similar to dungeons. So how is content affected? Well, for the most part, most casual content or even hardcore content is not affected. It runs like a normal server. Your auction house is the same as every other auction house. You have people spamming chat to sell runs. You have pretty much the standard array of affair. I think maybe PvP is affected a little bit, if I'm honest. The pool seems a lot smaller for PvP, but outside of that, honestly, that's about it. Everything works the same. All content is the same. In fact, you have so many players because your realm's consistently a high pop that generally content, especially casual content, tends to remain fairly well populated. In fact, you still struggle to get to bosses sometimes, just like when fights are full. So all in all, content's not really affected. If I have to speak bluntly, it's really not something that's going to be a negative for you. Now, the pros of an RP server, well, one, for example, Argent Dawn, it's always full. You always have players. People are always logging into the game because they're creating their own content. They, finding their own satisfaction in the game, and so they're enjoying playing it with their friends or their guild. The other pros that you can get, obviously outside of that, are pretty much the spontaneous quest lines. The cities always feel full. A lot of cities will feel full even if they're not big cities. A lot of times you can walk into an inn in, pretty much any major province is in, and you can essentially find a character or do something with a character. Now, there is Goldshire, which is a stain on the population, but I think everyone knows about that, and if you don't, just don't go there. It's like the Moulin Rouge if it met a hillbilly circus of the RP world. Now, obviously, having a full population, everything is great, and having casual RP is an incredibly fun experience. But what are the cons? So the cons are honestly pretty simple. The drama that comes on RP servers can get pretty intense, I want to say. A lot of the times, maybe because people are more attached to their characters, or there's an added layer of social interaction, interacting with players can get a bit dramatic. Especially within guilds, things can very rapidly descend into being a bit personal and quite a bit heavy. So if you're someone who's going to get into a guild, be prepared that you might cycle through a few till you find one that has the least amount of drama. Outside of that, honestly, there's not much that I find to be a negative of an RP guild, of an RP server. The only reason I would say to not play on an RP server is if you really can't stand the idea of other players doing RP. If that offends you, then maybe don't play on it. But yeah, just want to give my 2 cents. I think it's great. See you guys next time. Bye.